Almost. All right, now I can see it on Facebook, but I can't see you guys anymore. Well, I'll figure it out in a second. All right. All right, awesome. Now let me see if I can find you guys again. All right, in the meantime, if you can, mute yourself. Because if there's a dog barking or anything, then it won't disturb anyone else. Ah, I can see you again. Yay, awesome. Okay, everything's working. All right, so we can get started. There's more people want to get in. Awesome. All right, so 14 people now, 15. All right, so if you haven't answered the poll yet, let me know if you already know one of your guides or not. And yes, everyone has their camera on. That's awesome because I don't like talking to the computer and not seeing anyone. That's just weird. I don't know how other people deal with that. So again, if you do have any tech trouble, just log out and then log in again. That usually solves the problem. If you help each other in the chat if someone has problems. Then there's also a Q&A section. So if you have questions, and ask me in the Q&A section and I will see it and be able to answer. Then turn all your other devices off, close the door, get comfortable. We will do a bathroom break about after an hour. And there will be a gift at the end, so stick around. All right, so first of all, thank you for coming and for showing up, because it means that you are a light worker and you are here to change the world. You belong to a team of beings that consist of not just humans, but also beings from all over the universe that work together to make this world a better place. And by showing up today, you made a commitment to follow that calling. That's very important to know, and that's pretty huge. So see the beauty and the courage in that you are here and that you're showing up and that you are willing to learn and to use your gifts and your skills to light up the world. So be proud of yourself. You have these gifts that you need to share with the world, and you are here to learn about that. And that's why we're here. And connecting with your spirit guides is one of the things that can help you do it. It can help you with your purpose. It can help you share your gifts with the world. So again, thank you for that. So first I want to introduce myself. My name is Jamila Jimunja. You can find me at spiritguides.co. Oh, I hear there's an echo. Okay, let's see. Can you try? Okay, let's see if I. Close Facebook. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Yes, I can even hear it. It's better. Okay. I can't find you anymore. There you are. Okay. So yeah, my name is Jamila Jimunja. You can find me at spiritguides.co. And I am a spirit guide medium, which means that I can connect people to their spirit guides. I can see other people's spirit guides. I can hear them sometimes, but I'm more clairvoyant, so I don't see them more. And they can give me messages for other people. A lot of you who are here today have had readings from me, either the participated in the free weekly readings that I do on Fridays, or they have had a one-on-one session with me. So I started working with spirit guides 17 years ago. And it happened because my spirit guide, or one of my spirit guides, we all have a whole team of guides, showed up physically in 3D in my bedroom at night. It was a little bit scary, but at the same time, it was very fascinating because I just woke up, my eyes wide, open, and there was this guy standing, about 30 years old, I would think. He was just wearing jeans, no shirt, no socks, nothing else. And he looked like he was from the 70s. I didn't really know who that was. And I was, like I said, I was a little bit scared because I didn't know this guy, and he's just in my bedroom in the middle of the night, 3 or 4 a.m. So I just stared at him, and I couldn't move. I had what you call sleep paralysis, which means that, you can't move. You can't move your body. So I just stared at him, and he stared at me. And then out of nowhere, he had this like red glowing like orb in his hand, maybe about the size of a baseball, a little bit bigger maybe. And he threw it towards me. And I could feel it land on my bed on the left side. And then the next thing I knew was that I woke up the next morning, and my hand went to my left without thinking and started searching for that glowing orb. And then my brain started working. I was like, what was that? What happened? And so I stopped searching for that glowing ball because that is crazy. And the first thing I did was I called my friend. And this was at a time that I started being interested in my roots, because I am from Colombia. And on my birth mother's side, I'm adopted. My birth mother's side, I am Embera, which means, the Embera are an indigenous tribe from Colombia. They live in the rainforest on the West Coast, and they still practice shamanism. They still do ayahuasca rituals, all that kind of stuff. They have their own language, Embera. And I started being interested in that, like, where am I from? What can I learn from that? Who are my ancestors, or who are the people that are still alive, and what are they doing? Especially the spiritual traditions was what I was interested in. So this was at that time that this spirit guide showed up. And I called my friend who I started this whole spiritual journey with. And she was also like, wow, I don't know what that was. That's crazy. 2 days later or 3 days later, we were signed up for a workshop in Berlin, a shamanism workshop. This was the first time I was going to learn from someone about shamanism. So we went there, and the first thing our shamanism teacher taught us was how to travel to the spirit world. And he explained how we were going to do it, and then he said, well, before you do this, this is probably what's going to happen. You will meet your spirit guide, and they will give you energy. They often do this either by giving you a big hug, and you can feel the energy come into your body, or sometimes they will do it by giving you like a red ball of energy. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's what it was. Now I know who this guy was. That was my spirit guide. So that was the first time I met a spirit guide. This doesn't happen very often that they show up physically. I guess I needed it because I needed a real wake-up call. You might not need that. So yeah, they might not show up physically, but that's not even important if they show up physically. You can also communicate with them in other ways. And it has never happened after. So yeah, that's how I got started. And then over the years, I started seeing other people's spirit guides from time to time. And I wanted to learn more about spirit guides and spirituality in general. And I had some crazy adventures, like ayahuasca sessions with a Colombian shaman. Actually, I'm going again at the end of May. I'm really excited about it. I've had other visitors in my bedroom. I've had some aliens show up in my bedroom, also physically, which was also crazy because they were just as surprised that I could see them as I was surprised to find them there. I've also had a fun experience as a trance medium for an animal spirit. I it just happened. I was outside in nature, and suddenly there was a voice in my head that was definitely not mine, and that told me, okay, you got to sit down now and then breathe like a few times. You're going to get a little bit dizzy, but that's okay. Just go with it. And I was like, okay. So I sat down, breathed, and went with it. And then suddenly this other being was inside of me and started speaking through me. It was also a very interesting experience. And it gave a message to a friend also. Yeah. What else happened? Oh, yeah. I sometimes when I'm in nature, I can feel where elves live or fairies, which is fun. Elves are always fun. My dead cat likes to visit me when I'm sad or sick. And I have one spirit guide who's an African goddess who likes to teach me about business, which is really helpful. And then over the years, I started giving strangers in bars or in other places messages from their spirit guides because I could see them. And I would just say something like, I don't know if you believe in any spiritual stuff, but I can see this wolf with you. And he wants me to say whatever it was, give you this message. And so I did. And then 2 years ago, I started taking it seriously and thought, well, let's do something with these skills and actually help people. And 6 months ago, I started doing this professionally. So yeah, I'm telling you this because you are here and you want to develop your skills, and you can use your own skills to help other people. And then since I started this whole thing 6 months ago, even more crazy things have happened. And for example, I was invited to write a book about spirit guides in a castle in France. And I lived there for a whole month for free, which was crazy. I was featured on CNN. I have given over 100 readings so far. And I found someone who's taken over my old business, and I'm still making money from that. So yeah, if you start working with spirit and if you commit to being a channel for spirit, then spirit will make things happen that you wouldn't think are possible. Okay, let me see. There are 2 more people that I have to invite in. Hi, Alex. Hi, Eva. All right. So this is what happens if you invest in your relationship with your spirit guides. Like magic and miracles happen. Increase trust in the universe and in yourself. Because if you can trust the universe, you also know you can trust yourself. That's actually something that I found out over the last 6 months that has really changed my life. You also naturally start to live your purpose because your guides will tell you where to go, what to do, not in the sense that they say, go there, do this, but they will guide you. And if you can communicate better, it's easier for you to follow that guidance. Your light gets brighter, like literally, like our aura is made of light. And if you work with your guides, your aura gets bigger. You can really feel it grow, and it gets lighter, and you will heal your aura. Like all the places where trauma is in your aura, that will start going away. And you can better serve the world with your gifts if you connect with your guides. So what you will learn today is what your strongest way of communicating with your guides is. There are 6 ways. Some of you may already know which one it is. Some may think they know, but today you will know for sure. The next thing you will learn is what your guide looks like, feels like, or sounds like. If you are not someone who's very visual, then you will connect on another level. Because not everyone is clairvoyant. There are people that are better with hearing their guides or feeling their guides. You will also learn the name of your guide and what their most important message is to you right now. And one more thing is how to connect, like how to contact them in the future, how to connect with them in the future. We will also be doing 2 exercises from 2 different traditions that have perfected spirit guide communication. One is shamanism. There have been shamans for tens of thousands of years, and they really know what they're doing. So yeah, I will show you how shamans connect with their spirit guides. And the second tradition is spiritualism. So how mediums can physically connect with their guides. Spiritualism is not as old as shamanism, but still they've been around for a while. And because in spiritualism, there was some cases of fraud that went very public, they perfected the way to come up with evidence that they're actually talking to spirit guides and past loved ones. So we're going to start now with a tuning in exercise. So close your eyes, get comfortable, close your eyes. All right, and then I want you to take 3 deep breaths, like just in and out, as deep as you can. Let's go. Breathe in. And breathe out. Keep breathing out until there's nothing left in you. And again, breathe in as deep as you can. And then breathe out. And one more time. Let it all go, everything that has happened so far today. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw, your eyes, even around your ears. Now we are going to take 3 more deep breaths, but this time I want you to connect with the earth. So I want you to breathe in the energy of the earth through your base chakra, through your sacral chakra, your 3rd chakra, and all the way into your heart chakra. So let's go. Breathe in. And breathe out. Really try to feel the energy from the earth. And breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, great. And one more time. And out. All right, and with the next 3 breaths, we're gonna connect to the heaven, the skies, the universe above. So this time I want you to take 3 deep breaths and then feel like there's a pillar of light coming from above and going through the top of your head, your crown chakra, into your 3rd eye, through your throat chakra and into your heart chakra. All right, breathe in. And out. And while you breathe out, I want you to imagine that this white light is spreading all through your body. So breathe in again. And breathe out. And let the energy go to your arms, your chest, your belly, and your legs, all the way into your feet. And one more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. And one last time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Awesome. Now we're going to do 3 more, and we're going to call our spirit guides. Doesn't matter if you know them or if you don't. Just put the intention out there. You can call more of them or just one. It doesn't matter. So breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And out. And one last time. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right. So this should have raised your vibration quite a bit. And I'm now going to call on our spirit guides to join us here and help us with the exercises and meditations that we are about to do so we can connect to them better and learn to communicate consciously and clearly with our guides. I especially call in Archangel Michael to make sure that only beings of the higher light and the higher dimensions can connect to us, and only beings that are connected to us in love can come through. And so it is. Thank you. All right, you can open your eyes again. And if you could feel like some energy in your body, let me know in the chat. Just say yes. I hope you could. And then we will do our first exercise in a minute. But before we get started, this one is going to be about shamanism. So this is how shamans connect to spirit guides. I learned this in this one workshop that I told you about earlier. But first I want to tell you a little bit about shamanism because we use this term very lightly here in the Western world. But in reality, shamanism, the word shaman comes from Siberia, from one specific community there. And they don't necessarily like it that we all use the term for their healers and shamans. So I like to talk about neo-shamanism when I talk about like the shamanism that we use, which is kind of like a mix of different traditions in the world. So I also don't talk about shamans when I talk about Western people who haven't learned to be a shaman in a traditional way, in a traditional context. I like to call them shamanic practitioners because we need to have respect for these communities and not just like appropriate their wisdom and knowledge. All right, so when we do this meditation, I want you to pay attention to what you feel, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, and what you smell. So it's not just focusing on what you see. A lot of people think that if they want to connect with their spirit guides, they have to see them. That's not true because we all have used our senses differently. Some people are much more auditory people. So for example, they learn much better by hearing instead of seeing things. Or some people are more into feeling. So they need to do something to learn something. And the same is true for spirit guides. Don't focus on what you hear from other people, like what their stories are. find your own way to communicate with your guides. So again, focus on like all your senses, what you see, what you feel, what you hear, what you taste, and what you smell. There are also two different ways to sense these things. One is that you can feel, hear, see things in your mind, which is totally valid, or you can see them like outside of you or hear outside of you. That would be if like something physically comes into the room, or if someone like talks into your ear and you hear it from outside. Both are totally valid. Also know that you are absolutely safe. There is no way that any beings can come in that are not from the higher light or that want any harm. If you get scared, what you can do is just take a deep breath and maybe even open your eyes for a minute and then go on with like the exercise. Also, it's totally fine to use your imagination. Don't think that you're just making things up. I've said this before, and I'm probably going to say it 3 more times throughout the workshop because people are so hung up on it that they think they are making things up. Even if you are making things up, your guides will work with that. So maybe you see your guide as being blonde. Does it matter if like they're not really blonde, but maybe brunette? No, it doesn't. So just use your imagination and go with it. Over the next few weeks, months, years, they will like correct whatever is not accurate. So don't even worry about it. All right, so far, any questions? If you have any questions, use the Q&A chat thingy. All right, awesome. Let's see if there's anything in the chat. So someone's feeling chills from a fever. I hope not, oh God. Oh, Chris is also feeling chills. Claudia's feeling energy, awesome. Chris is feeling energy, but didn't see anything. Like I said, that's totally fine. If you're someone who feels things, then focus on the feeling. That's just as valid because, for example, if you go into a room as an empath, then you can feel other people's energy, and you can, by feeling their energy, you can tell things about them, if they're happy or sad. That's just as valid as seeing that they're happy or sad. The same thing goes for hearing. If you hear a voice in your mind that says, oh, this person is sad or happy, that's the same thing. The information is there. It doesn't matter where it comes from. All right, so Haneen says she's not feeling anything. Well, we'll get there. And Marissa is cold. Yeah, well, sometimes spirit guides can show them art or their energy feels cold to people. To me, it's more I get really hot, but other people feel it more as really cold. So that also depends. Everyone is different. All right, so we're gonna do this exercise, which is a trip to the spirit world. And I'm gonna narrate this meditation trip to the spirit world. You can close your eyes again. Get comfortable again. And again, take 3 deep breaths just to relax. And just do that on your own. Just really deep breaths. Maybe breathe out through your mouth. You're muted, so no one's going to hear anything. All right. Now I want you to imagine a beautiful place in nature. Could be one that you know. It can also be a made-up place. Just imagine being there. Maybe the sun is shining. Maybe it's night. You can see the stars. Look at your surroundings and see if you can see something. Are there trees? Or is there a waterfall? Or is it a desert? If you can't see anything, then see if you can hear something. Can you hear water in the background? Can you hear birds or other animals? Can you hear other sounds? And then focus on what you can feel. Can you feel a breeze? Can you feel the sun on your skin? Can you feel the clothes you're wearing? What about the earth beneath your feet? Really take your time to look around. See if you can smell something. Does it smell like where you are? And then see if you can taste something. What does the air taste like? Or are there any fruits close by that you can take a bite of and see how that tastes? Now I want you to look around again and see if you can see an opening in the earth. Could just be a tunnel. Could be like a tunnel that a mouse made. Could be the entrance to a cave. As long as it's an entrance into the earth, it's exactly what you need to see. If you can't see anything or feel anything or sense anything, then just make it up. It's totally fine. Just imagine it. And now go into that opening in the earth. If you think you don't fit, just make yourself smaller. It's totally fine. Just enter that portal. Again, look around. If you can't see anything, then concentrate on what you hear, what you feel, what you smell, or what you taste. Maybe you're falling through the tunnel, or maybe you're walking through the tunnel, or maybe you're flying through the tunnel. Maybe you transformed into an animal. Whatever happens, just let it happen. Now you see a light at the end of your tunnel. Go towards that light. And walk through it. Once you're through, look around again or listen to the sounds. Engage all your senses. What are you standing on? Is it earth? Or is it rock? Or is it something else? Really turn all around. Also see what's behind you. If you're comfortable where you are, you can sit down. Or you can just see if there is some other place that you want to walk towards that looks more comfortable where you can sit down. Or if you have wings, you can just fly around if you want to. Or land on a tree. Take a deep breath wherever you are and make yourself comfortable. Remember, you are safe. Now slowly turn your head to the left, wherever you are. What is there? Can you see there? What can you hear there? Can you feel any energy on your left? Now all the way in the distance, there's a being walking towards you. Maybe flying, falling. Maybe you can just hear it. Or maybe you can just feel it. It's getting closer. Maybe you can already see what it is. Does it have a human form? Or is it an animal form? Maybe you recognize this being. Or maybe not. Whatever it is, just accept it. Even if it's a mouse and you think a mouse is not a cool spirit guide, just accept what you see. There are no limitations. Getting closer, you can make out more details. Maybe you can see or hear or feel if it's a female or a male. Or if it doesn't have any sex, it's also possible. And if you can't see it, then focus on what you hear, what you feel, or even maybe you just know it without any input through your senses. Whatever pops into your head is valid. So what color of hair does this being have? Or fur? Or what do their wings look like? What are they wearing? Or again, what kind of fur do they have? Can you touch them and feel what they are wearing, or the fur, or the wings? Take in their entire appearance. What do their feet look like or feel like? What do they smell like? Now look at their eyes. Or if you can't see their eyes, then take their hands or touch them somehow. Really connect with them. Feel their energy. And say hi. Welcome them. Thank them for coming and working with you. Really focus on their eyes or your hands touching them. Now ask them for their name. Whatever name pops into your head is their name. Even if it's weird, even if it's super short or just one letter. If you don't get a name, see if you can feel their energy signature. Like, what does their energy feel like? Don't let your ego tell you that what you're getting is wrong. Now ask them if they have a message for you. Something that you need to know to move forward on your path. Ask them. Maybe they just send you energy. That's also fine. Maybe you get a whole download. You just know what their messages without hearing them, seeing them. If you have any follow-up questions, ask them. If you have any specific questions that you want to ask them about your life right now, you can ask them as well. And then focus on all your senses. Now you can ask them how you can connect with them in the future. Do you have any tips for you? Specific meditation, crystal, or anything like that? Accept what they tell you. Once you got the message, once they told you how to connect with them in the future, maybe give them a hug. And then when you're ready, you can slowly say goodbye. Thank them for coming. Now slowly go back to the tunnel. Maybe turn around one more time and wave. Smell the air one more time. Focus on what the energy feels like in that place one more time. And then enter the tunnel. Go all the way back to your place in nature. When you're there, look around one more time there as well. Breathe the air. Feel the earth beneath your feet. See if you can hear any sounds. And remember as many details as you can. Once you're ready, you can focus on this world again. Maybe breathe. Take one deep breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And slowly open your eyes whenever you're ready. Take your time. All right, awesome. So before we will talk a little bit about what you experienced, we're going to take a bathroom break. And if you want, you can also grab a journal or a piece of paper and write down what happened in these 5 minutes so you don't forget. Grab a glass of water and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, let's see. Is everyone back already? Not yet. Yeah. Do you have any questions that you know? Ah, Chris, I saw you smile in between. Awesome. Chris says it was amazing. All right, I think almost everyone is back. So I do have another poll for you if I can find it. Let's see, where is it? All right. So were you able to connect with your guide during this meditation? Yes, no, or not sure? All right, so far 55% said yes, they could connect. Actually, 62% no. 8% said no, and 31 said not sure. All right, again, like if you're not sure if you had like something, like you could feel something or you could hear something or see something, then that was probably your guide. All right, so we have some people who are already sharing their experiences. Let's see. Chris, do you want to tell us a little bit about it? I'll unmute you. All right.
Well, okay. When you started us, I had this really deep purple behind my eyes, and it pretty much continued the whole time. But as I embraced it and allowed it, I was able to, I went into a deep redwood forest. It was cool and dappled. You couldn't really see the sun, but because the trees are so massive. I've never been to a redwood forest, but that's where I was. I immediately saw a stag with a big,
oh, nice,
and also a lion. And the lion sort of pounced forward at the stag, but instead of attacking it, sort of nuzzled up to it.
nice.
But it was a very big lion. It wasn't like it was a cub. It was a big lion. So I acknowledged them and watched them. And then when I went through the doorway in the bottom of the tree, it was actually like a doorway, like almost like an elf doorway type of thing.
Oh, okay, nice.
And I was on a slide for a very long time. I got to the bottom into a clearing, and the stag and the lion were there again. And a woman came forward with a wolf headdress, but she wasn't my guide. She was sort of introducing me to my guide, who was a man in a lion headdress. Clearly was a Native American man who came forward very self-contained. I would say reserved isn't really the word, but a presence, clearly a big, heavy presence that was telling me to embrace being fierce, not to temper myself for anybody because anybody told me to, but to temper my ferocity because to be caring, to be, that it wasn't a matter of, ferocity is not a bad thing. Embracing having a fierceness of personality is not a bad thing. The only time I should consider tempering it is because I want to be kind. That's the bottom line. I did get a name, which I thought was a crazy thing, which has never happened to me before. I believe what I heard was Okanwe.
Okay.
I sort of wrote it down Okanwe, but he was clearly a shaman and he encouraged me to go to Sedona as soon as I can. So, okay.
Awesome. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that.
That was pretty intense. The whole thing was really intense.
Great. So is there anyone else who wants to share? Let's see. Anya says she met 5 guys. Isn't that a lot of spirits? Yes, that's a lot of spirits, but apparently you can take it. I know you're not feeling well today, Anya, so I won't ask you to share unless you want to. Then let me know. Then we have Terry, who had flashes of images. Terry, do you want to share? Nod if you want to. Okay, I'll unmute you. All right.
I guess that's the only way to really explain it is as much as I wanted to say, can I see you? Can you make it so that I can feel you? It seemed like I had the deep purple in the beginning too, but instead of seeing someone like a real time action interaction, it was more like an image. It was like an image of like a wolf's head would be there and then it would fade. And then it would be like a Native American man and then it kind of shifted to a female and then it faded. And then when you were talking about touching them, I felt like I was touching angel wings. That's why I kept touching them and they were so soft. I remember thinking that they were just so soft. But when I asked for a message, it's like it was not there. It was just images that came to me.
Yeah, that's nice. So you actually met 3 beings, a man and a woman and angel wings. So an angel maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just a being that has all 3 of these attributes. That's also possible.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible she could have been tapping into what I was feeling?
Yeah, sometimes when people do a meditation as a group, they do tap into the same kind of energy. That is possible, definitely.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's lots of fun things that you can do as a group because the energy is much denser, and you can do all kinds of fun experiments. Like you can talk to other people's spirit guides and make them, for example, I could talk to Terry's spirit guide and ask your guide to raise your arm like this. And you would raise your arm without even, I mean, you would realize it and you would feel it, but you wouldn't be the one actually like initiating it. It's a crazy feeling. I've done that a few weeks ago. So yeah, there are fun things that you can do. And it's also great to develop your spiritual gifts as a group because of that, because there's more energy and it's easier to tap into the spirit world than by yourself.
I do really like this. I guess I feel more from it than when I try to meditate by myself.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's more energy, because spirits will use human energy to come into our world. So we basically have to raise our vibration up and they have to lower their vibration a little bit so we can meet in the middle. And as a group, you have more energy. So it's easier for both sides. Okay, so let's see. Anya says 3 of the 5 she already knows, and the other 2 only help in special occasions. Okay, so these 2 are new. Awesome, that's really cool. Haneen says she met someone, like a guy. That sounded different than I meant, and she can't tell what type of spirit guide. Well, Haneen, do you want to share what you felt? Where are you? Oh, I can't see you, so I don't know if you want to. If you want to, then just unmute yourself. And yeah, the deep purple, by the way, I have that all the time when I meditate, like especially when I do this meditation with the white light from above, I always see purple. Interesting.
I don't mind sharing if you
want. Go ahead.
Okay, well, he was absolutely black, not black in ethnicity, but black in color, like no details, no face, nothing, just black. And he came first, even before before I went to the cave. But I ignored him at first because I was like, no, this must be from my mind. And then when he came, he was a little bit angry at me, a little bit pissed off. And he refused to tell me his name.
Okay.
He told me a message, but it was kind of repetitive. It wasn't that much of special, and it was kind of myself. I was kind of annoyed at him because I was like, "This is like general knowledge. Give me something more. Give me a lot of details." But he refused. Then I asked him to send me an energy, and he did so. Another thing, before he was sending me energy, I felt like a black energy sweeping and moving around. I know others felt the purple one, but for me it was black. I don't know why. I tried to ignore it at first, but it kept being there for a while. But after like 5 seconds, it went away.
Okay. Yeah, if you see something, like, don't send things away because they probably have a meaning, even if you don't know it right now. Just, usually accept anything that is coming, unless it's scary, then you can send it away. And if something is scary, then it's 100% just your mind and your ego making these images up. That's the only time I say, okay, that's your ego coming in, because the spirit world is like full of love. There is no scary stuff there. I was also going to say something about something you just said, and I forgot. Oh yeah, some spirit guides don't want to tell us their name because they don't want to be humanized that much. Because as I tell all my clients, and in the free readings, spirit guides don't really have names. They just give us a name, so it's easier for us to connect as human beings because we attach values to these things. And the same goes for what they look like. They are made out of energy. They don't have a physical form, but they show themselves in a physical form that makes sense to us. So it's easier for us to connect, basically.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, honey.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Andy says, spinning out of control, white Greek-like guy, room and tunnel. Okay, do you want to share it? No? Okay. Then I'm not sure if you do.
Yeah, I can share.
Okay, awesome.
Sorry, I had to figure out how to unmute it.
Oh, you were just like this and then like this, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
No, I was just talking to my wife here. I don't know how much of it's really real, how much imagination, but whatever. I first went to a place on my farm, the back room, actually where we got married, and I found my tunnel there. We went in the tunnel. There was actually, I did a little bit of winding around. There's actually a room in the tunnel. I don't know if that's normal, but the light you were talking about was past that. So I walked past that and ignored the room. And that's where I went to the spirit world over there. It was more like a fairy kingdom, like a bunch of flowers and
awesome,
everything. But the light was to the left, and he was slow. It was a guy who was slowly walking to him, more like a Greek godlike guy. He was all white, had like a big white beard, walking stick, thing like that. So when I tried to when he got closer or whatever, I got this feeling that I was just completely spinning, like the whole world was spinning in a counterclockwise motion. And the more closer he got, the more it was spinning. So it was, I don't know how much what that is, but when I asked him for a message or whatever, I got this, it was like a big storm and like a hurricane came up in between us, and he kind of backed away a little bit, and I did too, and it was gray. It was like a gray wind that kind of blew up, and I had to try to get him back. As he was close, as he went further away, the spinning stopped a little bit. So the message I got was I think I was supposed to help my wife with something eventually. the name I got was something like a John, something like that. And yeah, so I got physical appearance, mostly all white, and we're wearing one almost like those Egyptian skirt-like things where it starts high and then it goes low. And it was like a white vest-like thing, really long, and like a walking stick that you just pick up in the woods. Big white beard. Wow. So, and his sandals, really thin sandals. Really strong. But ultimately that I'm there for him. And he also said when I could get closer to him, usually when I like close my eyes and I think real hard, I feel like I'm going really fast down a street, I got these lights on both sides of me that comes to like a pinpoint in the middle. He said I could go there, and he said there really isn't an end to it, but there is if I want it to be, and they're there. So, and then if I have more of them, there's a castle. He pointed like to where the light is. There's a castle over there where they are, but but then he pointed to my heart. He said they're there. So,
Wow.
I don't know how much that is.
Lots of that is.
Oh yeah, and I got a feeling like I always got to mess with my shoulders. That's kind of what. He didn't tell me any of it. That's just kind of thing. It's just kind of like it just popped in my head. So I didn't feel anything. Totally I didn't hear anything. I didn't smell anything. It was just in my head. So I don't know.
That's totally fine. That's like claircognizance.
Right.
Some people are clairvoyant. Some people are claircognizant. You just know things. That's totally valid. But they're very typical. For example, the fairy-like world. That is what oftentimes the lower worlds, like what in shamanism is called the lower world, looks like to people. I have the same thing a lot of times. So when I go there, I will see everything like in a fairy kind of way. And then the whole spinning thing, that is like very interesting because usually when you go into the spinning, it looks like a tunnel, especially go into there, then you will see even more things. So what you experienced was definitely not your imagination. These are very typical things.
That's good.
Yeah, totally. And maybe when you get names, this is also true for everyone, like look up the name online, especially if it's like a name that's not like everyday name, look it up online. Sometimes you'll be amazed. I once had a dream, and in that dream, there was this word that popped into my head, Thanatos. And I was like, what is that? And I remember waking up and then saying it a few times because I wanted to remember it the next morning. And then I fell asleep again. And the next morning I woke up and I was like, Thanatos, Thanatos. And I went online and looked it up. And it was the Greek god of death. I was like, wow. I had never heard that name before. And I still don't really know what it meant. But yeah, it was really interesting. So definitely look it up. Maybe there is a Greek god with that name. Who knows?
It's just John or Gian or something like that.
Yeah. Look it up. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else who wants to share? We have to get to the other exercise. Okay. So Marissa says, all I remember was I was in the woods, then on a bench, but it was hard to sense anything. I could hear the birds and in the tunnel, the dripping water. All right, so yeah, if people only like sense some things or heard some things, that's already a good sign because you connected to the spirit world. These things take time. Of course, with one workshop, you're not going to be like a perfect medium or psychic. But yeah, if you get something, that's already like a step in the right direction. All right, and then Susan says she met her primary guide and he gave her a bit more of the physical visual than she's got before. Visuals aren't her thing. That's totally fine. I usually get more just his voice than a physical pressure, like feeling him beside me or a hand on my back or something. Yeah, again, like not everyone is visual. That's totally fine. Go with what you see, feel, hear, sense, even smell, or what's the last one? Oh yeah, taste. All right, so Claudia says she saw an angelic form coming towards
the
her.
black pants, I think, are 40s.
Someone is talking in the background. Let's see what it is. I can mute you again. Or can you make sure yourself that you're unmuted? All right. Yeah, Claudia says saw an angelic form. And she looked at, when I looked at the feet, they were furry and it seemed like an animal, maybe a wolf or dog. And I felt in my heart a strong connection. Awesome. An angel with animal feet. I've never heard that one before. That's awesome. And Chris said he didn't see anything physical, but felt, although I was traveling through space. Yeah, that's also a very typical sensation. Like you're traveling through space and you see the stars going like this. That's like another way of going to the spirit world. It's like this tunnel you go through. very typical. So that was definitely valid. A lot of green shapes, and I felt a presence behind me tied in with the color purple. Purple again. You guys know that purple is like the color of your, what's it called? Crown chakra. So yeah, you connected to the universe. Oops, now I lost the message. And Marissa has a question, I think. When in meditation and we want our guide to show us an energy or something, what exactly do we ask for? A touch, moving an arm, pressure on a shoulder? Can they do that? Yes, they can, but usually that takes some practice. But the next meditation will be more physical. So yeah, and we have to hurry up so we can make it. So we'll do that now. All right. So let me get to my notes. All right, so everyone get comfortable again. This time we're going to do a meditation that comes from spiritualism or spiritism. They are very similar, not the same thing, but similar. Spiritualism is very big in the UK. We have spiritualist churches everywhere around the UK, and they are famous for connecting to past loved ones, and they have trainings for mediums. They have actually circles, that's what they are called, where you can go to once a week. They have demonstrations where people show their skills as mediums. And like I mentioned earlier, in the past, they had some cases of fraud where people pretended to talk to spirits and then they were found out. So nowadays, they're very much about teaching their mediums how to really bring, what's it called? Like really, I can't come to the word. Proof, like bring proof. Yeah, proof. So for example, if someone connects to a spirit guide or an angel or a past loved one, they usually first tell you a little bit about your personality or a situation that's going on in your life. And when they connect to a past loved one, they will tell you what they look like, or so you actually know you're connected to that specific spirit. And talking about mediums, you might think, well, I'm not a medium. Well, if you're talking to spirit guides, you're a medium. So you have mediumistic abilities, all of you. Get used to it. And also, yeah, like I said, communicating with spirit guides is mediumship. And shamans are also mediums, by the way. Like everyone who communicates with the spirit world is a medium and a shamanic practitioner. It's the same thing, basically. All right, so get comfortable. Close your eyes again. And take 3 deep breaths again. Really deep. And again, breathe in and breathe out. And one last time, breathe in and breathe out. So now I want you to, what we did in the beginning, with the connecting to earth and breathing in the energy from the earth. We're just going to do it a little bit longer. I'm going to do it for 10 breath cycles. Focus on your base chakra. Really pull in the energy from the earth through that chakra and then guide it up towards your second chakra and your third chakra and into your heart chakra. Let's go. Breathe in. And breathe out. While you do that, you can maybe see the color red, or you can feel your base chakra tingling. Breathe in again. And breathe out. Feel the energy go into your body and spread through your body. Breathe in. And breathe out. And just do it for yourself. 7 more breaths. Feel how your entire body is pulled towards the earth. It gets heavier. Once you've done your 10 breath cycles like this, focus on your crown chakra. And feel a column of white light coming from the heavens through your crown chakra. For the next 10 breath cycles, breathe in that white light and let it spread in your body. We're done already, just keep going. Right, and for the next 10 breath cycles, I want you to focus on your aura. So that's the space right outside of you. If you can't feel your aura, that's totally fine, and just focus on your skin. See if that tingles. If you feel anything, then imagine that tingling going outwards. And also imagine that this white light, as you just breathe in, coming through your pores and spreading all around you, so that it's forming an orb of white light around you. You can keep breathing in the white light from above. And when you breathe out, let it flow out of your body into your aura. Try to sense the space around you. If you can, then let your consciousness expand further and further as far as you can go. Feel the entire space around you. Maybe fill the entire room with your aura. Feel the energy in the entire room. Or maybe make it even as big as your house. If you're really adventurous, you can keep going until your aura is as big as the universe. Now I want you to call on your guide to join you in your aura, to step into your aura. Maybe it's the same guide as in the first meditation, maybe it's not, it doesn't matter. Really try to sense if you can feel something. The energy in your aura changes. if you can physically feel something going on with your body, tingling, maybe a tingling on the top of your head, maybe like tingling around your shoulders or hands, feet. Maybe you see colors. Maybe you just know something, or you smell something. Can't feel anything or see anything, and ask them to come closer. Ask them to come as close as possible. We can feel them. Breathing. Don't try to get a message, just try to feel them. Maybe you get really hot or really cold.
Yeah.
Maybe you feel a rush of energy somewhere in your body, or like a slight pressure around your body. You also feel like a wave of energy. You can ask your guide to increase it or decrease it. Either asking them to step closer or to step a little bit out of your aura. Pay attention to the littlest details, to the littlest things that are happening to your body. Scan your entire body from top to toe. See if you can feel any sensations anywhere. Once you scanned your entire body, ask your guide to step out of your aura again. See if you can feel any difference now. They are gone. And slowly come back. Take a deep breath. Wiggle fingers and toes. And once you're ready, you can open your eyes. Maybe you want to yawn or stretch. Saw Kate's hand go in the air like this. Awesome. So now I'm really curious how that went. Because this one is a little harder because it's on a physical level. But it's also a good one because your ego can't come in that easily. So when you have visions, people often think it's their imagination. If you actually feel energy around your body, it's harder to talk yourself out of it. So let's see how that was for everyone. Okay, Eva says she felt tingling on top of her head and toes and hands. Eva, do you want to share? No? Okay. Did anyone else feel anything? Don't feel bad if you didn't, because like I said, this is a little bit harder to do. Did anyone get like really hot? Did anyone get really cold? Ah, Marissa says her heart rate increased. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Marissa, do you want to share? Where are you? There you are. I'll unmute you. Hi.
Hi. Okay. So when we started, my heart rate, like I could feel it, like increase like really strongly, and it wasn't like racing, like I was running, but I could still feel it. And then I could feel this, like my skin, like you said, to sense it, and then I could feel it expand outwards, and then I could feel the warmth on my left side. Is almost like on my hand.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like this one better. It's easier for me than the other one.
Yeah, that makes sense. The thing is with the heart racing, that's a very typical sensation when you do this kind of meditation, because it's actually not your heart that you feel, but a lot of people will think that it's their heart. It's their vibration going up, and you feel your aura like vibrating faster. It feels very much like it is your heart. So when you would go and get tested by scientists, scientists would feel that your heart slows down actually, whereas you feel like it's like going faster, but it's really your aura. So yeah, you have a real talent for this kind of meditation. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then like when before I felt like a tingling in my ring finger, no, my pointer, then it went to my thumb, then it went to my ring pointer. So it went from middle to thumb to ring finger. Like they're trying to mess with me.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like spirit guides, when you connect to them in this way, will show you with time their a sign. They will give you a sign, which means it's like a calling card. So, for example, for me, it's like a wave of energy that goes like over my head, and if that happens, I know my guide is here. For other people, it's a tingling in their feet or on top of their head or something else. So it can be all kinds of things. That's why I asked you like to pay attention to your body. Like, what do you feel? And And once you find out what the calling card is, then it's easier for you to communicate, because then you know if they're around, and then you can start asking questions. First, you start asking yes and no questions. For example, can you step closer? Then the sensation should get more intense. If you say, can you step away a little bit? Then the sensation should get less intense. And that way you know there's an intelligent being talking to you. You can also start asking other questions, like yes and no questions at first, and then later more complicated questions. That's how you build that relationship and the trust in your guide. All right, let's see who else. Andy says he had cold feet. Yeah, some people get cold feet. Like, do this meditation a few times and you will like figure out if that is the calling card or not. Chris said 100% felt aura and energy with rushes from head to toe. Yeah, exactly. That's what I feel as well. Do you want to share? Chris, you can nod or say no, or just unmute yourself. No? Okay, that's fine. Andy says, feeling behind his eyes, like headache coming on. Yes, that's also a typical one. Either behind your eyes or here, third eye chakra. Like there's like this pressure. The deeper you go into this meditation, and I usually do it for about like 40 minutes, the stronger it will get, but then at some point it's like it pops, and then it goes away and you're in a really deep meditation, like deeper than before. It's like the pressure comes on, and then you suddenly drop in, like a level down in your meditative state. It's really interesting. So yeah, keep doing it and see if that happens for you as well. Norel says she felt cool and tingling in her legs. Then Andy also says something in his throat. Oh, that's another one actually. When you feel something in your throat, that's that they're kind of working on your throat chakra. That happens. And Susan says she had 2 this time, the same one from before, plus Orion. Oh yeah. So Susan has started reading with me, and I introduced her to one of her guides. So that guide was there. And when she was having trouble focusing, she got the sense of a clear orb, like a glass marble. Also a zing at the back of your neck, like a light download. Oh yeah. So the zing at the back of your neck is also connected to the throat chakra. And you have a lot going on with your throat chakra anyway, so yeah. Let's see. Chris also says like he felt like he saw someone, but it was like they are refusing to show themselves. Well, yeah, that's possible because this exercise was very much focused on like the physical sensation. And so they might have just said like, no, just focus on the physical thing and not on like the seeing. It's like a training. Sometimes they will not do what you want them to do, but they will do what they think is right for you, what you need at this point. Terry says tingles all over, chills still, had a little foggy, no need to share. And Chris says, I felt warm and normally I go very cold. Well, maybe this was a different guide. They all have different calling cards. So maybe your main guide gives you a tingle in your finger and your healing guide gives you a tingle in your left ear. It's different. Honey, that's black energy that is swirling came back. Then for a while I felt nothing. At the end, I felt a sudden pain in the left shoulder, kind of still there. Well, maybe they're just working on your shoulder. That could be. I can't say for sure. But maybe after the workshop, maybe go into meditation one more time and ask them to relieve the pain. That should help. Chris says this was more intense than the previous one. Yes, for me as well. I could really feel the energy build up. Like I said, if you do it in a group, it's way more intense than when you do it on your own. Kate says she felt her head being pushed down. Oh, I have that sometimes as well. Like when I do this meditation, like I will like swerve a lot and will sometimes feel like my head is going like this. So maybe that's similar. Wendy says her aura expanded. She invited her spirit guide in. She was looking forward to a new one, but her faithful dragon showed up. Oh, that's great. She had a fantastic voyage on 10 ways. I was riding on his back. It was awesome. That was the first time. Well, awesome, great. Andy says he got an owl. Awesome. And Marissa says she can still feel her guide with her. It's the angel she met before. I asked him to be the one I connected to today. It was easier since I talk to him every day. Awesome. That's really, really cool. So I'm really, really happy that all of you, or most of you, could connect. I have one more poll for you because I'm curious. Let's see, where is it? Okay. So were you able to connect to your guide or feel something this time? Yes or no? Wow, 92% said yes and 8% said no. That's really interesting. I thought it would be much easier with the first meditation than the second one. This one's much harder. I'm proud of you guys. You're really fast learners. Actually, now it's 93% yes and 1% no, 7% no. But if you didn't feel anything, don't worry about it. Like I said, this takes time. This is not something that always happens in just one sitting. All right, so we're almost done. There's only one more thing that I want to share with you guys. If you like this workshop, I have 5 more coming up over in starting April 23rd. 5 workshops every Sunday, just like now, 2 hours. And I don't want to bother you with all the details, so I just keep it short for now. But it's a 5 workshop course. It's all about connecting with your guides even more. So we'll go more into the details, more into some theory, and obviously way more exercises and meditations to help you. So if you want to hone your skills and really keep spreading and increasing your light, and as a light worker, I'd be happy if you joined me. I'd be happy to have you, and I would love to work with you more. So, and because you stayed until the end, I'm going to give you a 50% off coupon code, and I'll post that in the chat right now. So if you're interested, go to that URL and you can sign up for 50% less than the normal price. So there you go. The code is early bird and the URL is also in the chat. And what you will learn in that course, and I call it the master course, Spirit Guide Communication Master Course, is how to hone and use your sensitivity to connect with your guides, because your sensitivity is not like a curse, like some people think. You can hone it, you can work with it, and then it will be like an asset for you, especially when it comes to connecting to the spirit world. Again, we will also go more into how to feel your aura and how to use it to communicate with your guides. And also what I mentioned a little bit today is how to raise your vibration and then use it to blend with your guide. Like this last exercise that we did, that's called blending with your spirit guides. Like you blend your auras together. And that way you can really feel them and communicate with them in a physical sense. And like I said, we can do some experimentation, like talking to someone else's guide and see if they will nod someone's head for you. That's really fun. And you will learn how to use specific body postures to communicate with your guide. That's also a fun one. There are specific body postures that you can use. One is, for example, how to connect with bear spirit, and bear spirit is a healer. So if you use that specific body posture, you can connect to that healing spirit. For example, if you're sick or if you have an animal that you want to help, or your mother is sick, and you can use that body posture to connect to a healing guide. And there are hundreds of these postures, but we will do 1 or 2 just to show you how that works. And then you will also learn how to read other people with the help of your guide. So basically connect to your guide and get information about other people. Obviously in an ethical way, so you're not gonna like see anything weird about other people. That's not even possible. But it's a little bit like I'm doing a psychic reading. That's what I do when I connect with my guide, and I give you messages from them. So you will learn that as well. And like we'll do other exercises as well. So there will be much more to learn. Again, it will be 5 workshops, April 23rd, April 30th, May 7th, May 14th, and May 21st, 5 times. If you sign up, you'll obviously also get the recordings of all 5 workshops. So even if you can't make it at that time, you can still watch it. And because energy is not bound to time and space, you will still feel the energy of the group, even if you do it an hour later or a week later. And there will be more exercises, like I said, and there will be interactive interaction like we did today. We will share what happened. And because this is the last thing I have to mention, because I use Gumroad to sell this course, and Gumroad like went down today, and I couldn't like give all the info or put in all the information on the page. If you have any problems signing up, just send me an email, and I put my email in the chat as well. Send me an email and let me know, and we'll figure it out. Because I don't know if Gumroad is working again or not. It was down like almost the entire afternoon. Yeah, and that's really it. Does anyone have like any final questions? Then ask now. Could be questions about today, could be questions about the course. If you don't have any questions, or you come up with questions later, again, my email is in the chat. Let me know. I'm happy to answer anything. You can also ask in our Facebook group. Yeah, if you're not in our Facebook group, come join us. That's spiritguideschool.com. I'll also post it. spiritguideschool.com. No, the course recordings will not be on YouTube, because that's a paid course, so they will not be on YouTube. So if you don't have any further questions, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Again, come join us in the group if you're not there. Let me know in the group if you enjoyed it, if you have anything. So yeah, thank you for coming. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too, and I hope it supports you on your path forward. All right, guys. Bye. Thank you so much.